Washington State, this is the Daily Caller, Washington State is going to start teaching transgenderism to kindergartners. Washington State, I guess, is going to start acknowledging mental illness. Well, that's what the Johns Hopkins guy, the professor, says that this is. Not me. The Johns Hopkins professor emeritus of psychology up there. John McHugh, I think is his name. Washington State public schools will begin teaching gender expression to kindergartners under newly appointed health education learning standards that designate sexual health a core idea of public K-12 education. While some aspects of sexual health are not taught K-12, one component of sexual health titled self-identity does begin in kindergarten, where students will be expected to understand there are many ways to express gender. The state's health education glossary defines gender as, quote, a social construct based on emotional, behavioral, and cultural characteristics attached to a person's assigned biological sex. What a bunch of hooey! I read that to you again. You didn't understand it? Okay, well, let me read it to you again. A Washington State health education glossary defines gender. You and I think gender is male or female. No. No longer, ladies. That's not what gender is. In Washington State, in the educational system, gender is, quote, a social construct, period. A social, meaning it's a social idea. You know, somebody's idea came up with it. It's based on emotional, behavioral, and cultural characteristics, which are attached to a person's assigned biological sex. Assigned? Who assigns? So a couple have a baby. It's a little baby girl. Who assigned that baby's a female? Who did that? Who assigned? Well, you and I both know it's God, but some might say the chromosomes. Some might say genes, but whatever. But no, society eventually does, folks. That's what society eventually says. That little girl's a girl. But what if that little girl emotionally isn't? See, this is where we get into problems. The original assignation of female might have been entirely wrong. Even though it is a little girl, that doesn't mean diddly squat, because we now have to factor in the emotional, behavioral, and cultural characteristics attached to the biological sex, the assigned biological sex. Gender expression, meanwhile, is defined as the way someone outwardly expresses their gender. So we have gender, which is assigned, which is a social construct, which is based on emotional, behavioral, cultural characteristics. That's gender. Now a gender expression, which is the way someone outwardly expresses their gender. And this is being taught to kindergartners. You wait till they bring homework home.
Mommy, I need some help. I need some help with gender expression, Mommy. I'm confused.
Can you imagine what this is going to lead to? Like, of course they're not going to understand it. They're going to end up being confused. What's the objective here? By third grade, still here in Washington State from their manual, by third grade, students will be expected to explain, this is now in quotes, explain that gender roles can vary considerably. And they will, by third grade, understand the importance of treating others with respect regarding gender identity. And this is all taking place under the self-identity component of sexual health. And gender identity here is defined by the state as someone's inner sense of their gender. So, in the words of Thomas Friedman, if you've got balls and testosterone, you could easily be a female, depending how your inner sense of your gender is. And if you can be made to resent balls and testosterone, even though you have them, then you can learn to present. And they're trying to get all of this started at kindergarten level. What, recruitment? What do you say, recruitment? Oh, recruitment. 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 Interesting. Yeah, that might explain why they want to get started.